What's up, everybody?
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Noonchi Podcast. Bob, yesterday we had 매운 닭발, spicy chicken feet. And I was angry because I woke up this morning 10 minutes before I had to wake up because I had to take a shit. And I was mad. I was like, because I wanted those 10 minutes back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
you should consider yourself lucky that you didn't get that call while you were on the bus or train.
Right. If that was the case, I would have gotten off and shot.
Can you still hold it?
Yeah.
Yeah? Oh, you still have the sphincter muscles?
I mean, we've talked about your
the terrifying story.
Yeah.
And it's even more terrifying every week on a daily basis. Whenever I'm on a train, I'm always conscious of, hey, it could happen any minute. So you need an exit strategy as soon as you reach my age, I think.
Do you think, because Korea is a land of many different plastic surgery, whatever, you think there is like an asshole reconstruction surgery that you can do, like to
Yes.
You know what I mean?
There is. I know there is.
Oh, there is.
Yeah. I know they can, I forgot. I don't know what it's called.
Right.
But I know someone that did it.
Because they're, it's like old underwear elastic where if you wear too much, it doesn't snap back on.
It kind of like, it just like it's hemorrhoids, if it flowers up,
right?
Like they can get things back in order and make it all, I don't know.
Right. Okay.
I'm not an expert in this. I'm the last person.
Well,
I will say though, a big tip. This goes for two things, right? If you have to use the phone on the train, you know how you can just go in between trains? You can open it up.
Right.
And you get stuck between trains, right?
Yes.
One time I saw someone take a phone call in there and I was like, genius.
Yeah, it's less rude.
Yeah.
Right? It's very
I mean, I literally seen it one time. Okay. I've never seen it again.
Because I only hear it because I realize that, I think I've said this before, but the older people are in Korea, the less fucks they have to give.
Yeah.
So like when 할아버지's get the phone call, they speak loud and they get louder.
Yeah.
Depending on where the other person is. Like if they're talking to somebody in the US, they will speak so loud because they feel like they can't hear. And I'm like, 할아버지, that's not how you know what I mean? What? Phones work. Oh, 그래, 미국은 어때? Right? I'm like, yo. Yeah.
The other tip I wanted to give was if you just happen to need if you like 방구 or like shart or shit your pants for that matter on the train, that's where you should do it. Get in between cars and that will close and you'll save people
the smell
until you get off the next stop.
Oh, so that's kind of like you're in shart jail.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's your holding cell before you get off your stop or whatever. Right?
Yeah.
Got it.
It's like when the shuttle depart or like detaches from like you get your little, I don't know, what do you call those, like capsules?
Yes.
You have your own capsule, your shart capsule.
I found out something about our podcast that makes me a little bit more conscious of the shit we say.
All right. Let me know.
Because usually the people that leave comments on like YouTube or whatever are people that we've met before or we know. Or you
fellow
know,
Kyopos.
Right. Yeah. Or just like dudes, you know?
It's true. We've never gotten a comment from
a female fan or whatever, right?
I don't know if we have. I know Amy listens to the show.
Amelia, yes. By the way, when she gets off of quarantine, I'm calling her to come back. Right?
She's back in Korea.
Yes.
Nice. Yes. Awesome.
But one of the things that kind of shocked me or surprised me was, you know how, the building that we work in, right? It's like a shared office space.
Yeah.
And so there's people downstairs that work for the building.
Yeah.
And because that, they've been so nice to us, and they've always been sweet to at least me and you.
Right? Nice, yeah.
So we wanted to be like, hey, like it kind of be weird if I go, hey, you guys want to like grab dinner just to whatever,
Totally.
So we have someone in our office that are friends with them, so to set something up, right?
Yeah.
And the person in our office basically asked me to relay a message. Someone apparently goes, "Oh, ask him how his workouts are going."
Okay, so This is why we have to be careful.
Right. Because now you are known as a guy with a loose butthole for the people in this.
Dude, I freaked out today also because we ran into one of the other 팀장님s on the street today. And she had mentioned, or was it yesterday or something?
Yesterday.
And then she was like, "Oh, I have Noonchi Podcast on my podcast list."
Right.
And I was like, I had a brain fart moment, kind of like, oh shit. It's like, we talk shit about people at work. She's like, "Oh yeah, I know." So I mean, we do have to be careful, but there's something to be said that we keep things pretty raw and honest.
Yeah.
If we were ever to get fired, like, we'd still be proud of the show.
Right.
We can't do it here anymore.
Whatever.
We'll figure it out. We'll tell our listeners a little. Everyone, we have some listeners that used to listen to When in Seoul.
Right.
So here's a little secret. We actually had the opportunity to film that or record that show. It was only audio back then, right?
Right.
In an actual studio.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
But this studio was all the way in like Yangjae or something.
Pangbae.
Yeah. And Danny and I, I was in Hongdae, he was in Sinchon.
Right.
And we're like, oh, we'll just do it at our studio.
Right. We got a studio close to us.
It was my apartment. And we shared a mic. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
We had one mic between us, and whenever someone talked, we just lean over to the mic. It worked.
Yeah.
I was listening to an old episode today.
Yeah.
The one where we went to, I was talking about Jeju. Mm-hmm. I went and we got business class upgrades on the way back.
Right.
I was listening to that and I was like, the audio is actually pretty good.
Right.
It's almost better than this show, because this show, there's kind of the room echo.
Right.
That comes, that hits the mics sometimes, or most of the time. But anyway, blast from the past.
Yeah, and so basically we would share one mic, like we were a 1960s R&B group.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the Temptations, where they got one mic. You know, is that Kings of Comedy? Kings of Comedy, Steve Harvey joke where he talks shit about like rappers these days.
Yeah,
He's like, 40 motherfuckers, they all got mics, right? The Temptations.
Yeah.
One mic. Scoot-oop. One mic.
Oh man. Yeah, we totally we totally did that. We duetted it like we were Johnny Cash and June Carter.
Right. So I'm Johnny Cash because I have a more deeper voice.
You're June Carter because you're shorter.
Okay, so yesterday, I mean, I know we wanted to stay away from this, but you kind of started off with your knowledge of hemorrhoid and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You told me this yesterday after our takbal situation, as we were walking, to the train station. You talked about how you have hemorrhoids and how your brother.
Did I mention the hemorrhoid story to you?
Yes.
This was a while ago. Okay, this was when I was living, or we were living with. I was living with my brother for a little bit.
Right.
and I didn't know what it was like, but I just knew I was, whenever I wiped, there was blood. Which is disconcerting.
It is very concerning when you go, oh no, like you expect brown, but then it's red, right?
Yeah, it's like really like it'll happen to you if it hasn't already happened to you. I don't know, or maybe it won't. It happened to me, and I could tell and I could feel that there were some kinds of like bumps or like these little things that were kind of flowering up.
You've used the word flowering for hemorrhoids. Is that the proper term?
I've heard it a few times. Yeah.
When it comes to describing hemorrhoids.
Oh, it's like it's a good analogy because it starts off as a seed and then it kind of gets worse. Right. Or it starts to grow.
Right.
And kind of like takes different shapes.
Right. For all those Koreans that are listening,
stuttering.
Hemorrhoids in Korean is chijil.
Oh, okay. So this is a while ago, right? Ever since, things are better now. We'll just say that. So, oh my God, you're making me tell this story. This is one of the worst. All right. So
this is not as bad as the one where you talked about.
I don't know. I think
brown splooge.
The story. Gravy story. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go check that one out. That story was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Anyway, so all right. So my brother's a doctor. He's a general surgeon. So when I was 18, I asked him about, I was having wet dreams, it was coming out brown. Right. So I go to him for about some like specific, like very private things.
Right.
I don't have a doctor. I don't have and honestly, I don't want to go to a doctor in Korea either to be like, or wherever, whenever it was, to be like, hey, can you check out these
flowers?
These flowers, So I just asked my brother. I didn't want to show him. I just asked him, hey, so I have like something going on down there in the back. Do you happen to know, like, if I give you these like symptoms and these like, would you happen to know off the top of your head? And he's like, it sounds like you have hemorrhoids. And I'm not really I wasn't really like familiar with it at the time. And so I said, oh, well, is there any way to treat it? And he's like, well, we have to make sure it's actually hemorrhoids, right? And I was like, well, is there something? He's like, Bob. He calls me Bob. The easy thing to do is, let me just check it out. And I'm just kind of like, all right. So you want to see
your butthole?
My butthole.
Yeah.
How do we do this? Right. Like, how do we do that? Like, I don't know. Like, how do we start?
Is it? So, my question is it easier for you to show a stranger, like doctor who's a stranger, your butthole, or your brother who's also a doctor, your butthole? Who do you think you would much rather show, a stranger or your brother?
I don't know. At the time, like, I just knew that I wasn't going to get the opportunity to go to the doctor. I never been to the doctor in the US. Like, I just have, like, I'm afraid. I never had insurance. So I'm afraid of paying for
crazy costs.
Like, so I was just like, this was my only option. And so I don't know. Like, like, what am I supposed to do?
Right.
Like, sit down, put my legs up on the table? Or do I bend over, like head to ankles, right? I don't know. Like, so I'm just telling you, he's like, no, just pull your pants down, bend over, and spread them, right? Basically. And so I'm just like, all right, well, we're both adults. This guy's a doctor, right? He's seen a lot of shit in his life, right? No pun intended. So I bend over and I show him, and he was just basically like, "Yeah, that's motherfucking hemorrhoids."
Oh, it's so funny because I know your brother too, right? That's hilarious.
So, but he was like, yeah, he understood too, because like that stuff's not cheap if you don't have insurance.
Right.
So he was like, hey, my friend, who I know also, his friend, specializes in fixing that shit up. And he's like, yeah, we'll just go to his office and he'll lock the door and just do it for you in his office, because he has all the equipment and I don't know, rubber bands and stuff. I don't know. and I was like, all right, walk me through it. Like, what are my options? Do I have to do this? He's like, well, if you do this and nip it in the butt, basically.
Right.
Yeah, he'll just like tie it up with the rubber bands and then they'll eventually fall off and something like that along those lines. And I was just like, what's the other option?
Right.
It's like, just be careful, take care of what you eat, like eat a lot, have a lot of fiber, you know, don't like all the health things, don't drink as much, you know, because that messes up your stool.
Right.
And, you know, like if you have put yourself in a situation where you get wasted all the time, you're going to have diarrhea and that dries everything out and it makes everything harder. Anyway, so I basically took option 2 because I didn't want another friend to see my freaking butthole if there was another option for me to just, so long story short, if you have a hemorrhoids problem and you want to take care of it yourself, just watch what you eat. Fiber is very important. Fruits and vegetables. What do you call it? I drink the 2 tablespoons of Metamucil daily. Well, I try. I get it. I remember maybe 3 times a week.
I have to agree.
And bidets. Bidets are great.
I would have to agree that only one person you know should see your asshole. You know what I mean? If like for medical reasons.
Yeah.
If more than one person.
Yeah. I mean, if it's a doctor, that doctor is your doctor for life.
Yes. Like, you can't just like switch to another friend who's a doctor.
It's
you know
weird.
What I mean?
Yeah, just human like
because
instinct.
If there's 2 people that see your fucking 2 of your friends who are doctors see your fucked up calamari, right? Right? That'll be like what do you call it? Like that's a group text, man. That's a you know.
Why did I tell the story to you yesterday? I don't even remember. Why?
I don't know why you led me to that conversation. I never said. Was it like, hey, how's your brother doing? By the way, did I tell you about hemorrhoid? Oh, I like it. I like it. You know what, Bob? You've talked about like that general region of your body multiple times. In this podcast. So I think we're just going to call you Loose Calamari.
I will say though, last night we did go get Meon Dakbar, spicy chicken feet, because that's normally what I eat with my wife when I'm really stressed out and just like I need to get some stress relief, right? And so I was really grateful that you took the time to get it with me. You know what it is? It's like these days I'm really sad for some reason. I just don't know why I'm sad. I'm just sad. Maybe it's the state of the world. Whatever it is, I'm just always sad. And so I know that, takbar helps. Like anything that to get your mind off of it. And when you eat something spicy and you're only focused on spicy, that does help.
Is that why the Koreans swear that spicy food is like stress relief?
Yeah. I mean, I learned it from my wife, basically. So we would get takbar once a week because and just get that stress relief together. I mean, even, when we don't fight a lot. For a long time, I would attribute it to us getting takbar all the time. And so lately I can't, you know me, like I used to sleep when I was sad and depressed.
Right.
I can't even do that because
you have a baby at home.
That, and even if I get to bed early enough,
right.
I'll still wake up like I knew this was coming. Like the older you get, like the less sleep you seem to need.
Yes.
And the more naps maybe make more sense. But since I can't sleep, I need other ways to find stress relief. The podcast is one thing. The spicy foods is another thing. And, you know, I probably need to admit that I've been drinking too much lately. So, I mean, but that...
We might be doing that today, man.
Yeah, dude. My stomach, though, got out of control as we talked about it last week or the week before.
Yeah, you couldn't get into your suit.
Yeah.
Yes.
But ever since, because of that shaming, I've been running every day.
Right.
With one, like I ran 6 days straight last week.
Ooh.
And yeah, and then at night too. Like I'll run in the morning and I'll run at night. Like I'm just getting a lot of miles in.
So you have a music video where you run, and everybody in that music video runs, right? And I've
hanging on a thread.
I've never mentioned this to you, but you kind of run like Steven Seagal.
What is it? Is that good or bad?
For all our listeners, please YouTube. After watching this or listening to this, please YouTube Steven Seagal running. Okay. Yeah.
I've been told I run like my mom.
That's not a good sign unless your mom's an Olympic sprinter. Told me that.
No, but they've never seen my mom run.
Right.
They just kind of like guess that that's probably the way your mom. But the way I run is actually works for me in terms of form. The reason why I can run the long miles that I do is because I finally figured out my form after a lot of barefoot running.
Right.
So when you barefoot run, it hurts, right? And so what ends up happening, I used to do 2 miles a day barefoot, right? And I did this for at least a month or two.
In the US?
Yeah, maybe like 10 years ago.
Like where would you run though?
I would run
like just regular pavement.
Yeah, to the you know, the neighbor, like remember I lived like in Manhattan Beach. It was like that enclosed area. I just go around the whole.
Because I'm assuming I'm just more like worried about like possible like broken glass or things like that.
Yeah, I mean, but that's part of it because you're always mindful of where you land. And because it hurts running on asphalt,
right?
You automatically, your body like tries to land as soft as possible. That's actually the right way to run.
Okay.
And most people, they're hitting the ground too hard because they have shoes on,
right? And
your foot is trying to figure out where it's planting itself. And people with thick soles, normally they have bad knees. Right, so that's why people are into Vibrams and barefoot running because it's the proper way to run is what God gave you to run with that. So I run in a way that doesn't look mushisa. Sure. Plus I'm short daddy, so I have short legs. And another thing is I run with my arms not swinging wide because I conserve energy. So long runners, they do that stuff.
I wish we had a producer right now and an extra screen.
Yeah.
So I can just be like, you look like Steven Seagal.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, that's a big long thing. Yeah. The last thing I'll say is I just remembered this and I should have realized this when I first got my first gout flare up. Because it hurt like, you know how it hurts. It hurts like you broke your foot, right? But you don't know when you broke it.
Right.
And you literally are just like, wait a minute, did I hit my foot on something last night? And I just like, it just hurts like hell.
It's happened. That was, I remember the first time I got it.
The first time I got it wasn't in Korea. It was when I ran from San Diego to LA.
Right.
It was the fourth day, the final day. I was running from, I think it was like Seal Beach to Santa Monica. Jeez. Like early on, my foot swole up and it felt like it was broken.
Right.
And I was like, there's no way. I just came 3 days from San Diego. There's no way I'm not going the rest from Seal Beach to Santa Monica. That's half a day.
Yeah.
Right. So I remember my foot couldn't fit in my shoe and it felt like it was broken.
Right.
And I just thought it was, I thought it was just swollen because of, so what ended up happening was, that takes days to recover, a lot of water.
Right.
So what ended up happening was I'm like, fuck it. I took off my shoes and my socks and I just started running barefoot.
Wow.
Right. On the street. At this point, there's no like boardwalk and stuff. I'm just running the streets like PCH.
Yeah.
Right. And I remember I ran like 5 miles and the first couple miles were like pain. Like I wanted to die, but I was like, fuck it. I can do this.
Yeah.
Then something happened. I think it was gout. Now looking back, it was a gout flare. My first gout, because 3 days, all the fat burned away and all the crystallized stuff was starting to shove into my skin and stuff. So what ended up happening after 2 miles of running barefoot, it started breaking up the crystals. And then it was I was sweating a lot. I had a lot of water, so I was flushing it out. And while I was breaking it apart, I was going through pain, the pain of breaking the crystals apart in my foot. So that I didn't realize until recently. I was like, oh my God, that's what it was. I mean, that's a really boring story for a lot of people, but yeah, I've never told that story. So I know you would appreciate it because you have gout.
Yes.
So
to answer one of our new listeners' question, I have been working out. This is 2 weeks, right?
Yeah.
Last Thursday, it was all upper body, right? Shoulders, back, arms. And so on Friday...
Free weights.
Yes.
Yeah.
On Friday, I had a show, so I wanted to take a shower, but I couldn't lift my arms.
Okay.
Like my arms were like, I couldn't reach the top of my head, right? So I was like, how am I going to wash my I want to say hair, but how am I going to wash the top of my head, right? Yeah. That's what I'm going to say, right? So my hands couldn't go up that high because it hurt so much.
Yeah.
So what I did was I got my shampoo and I squeezed it against the mirror, onto the mirror. And then I basically I rubbed my head against the mirror and try to lather up that way, right?
Yeah.
Right? And then like, I was like, oh, okay, I guess. I mean, I felt terrible doing it, but you know, I was like, whatever, right?
Sometimes you gotta rinse.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta rinse, right? So like, I was just basically, I couldn't use my hands, so I sprayed the shampoo onto the mirror and then rubbed my head against the mirror to soak up and lather, right?
Okay.
Now, this is how much of a dumbass I felt like, right? So, like my toiletries are in like a basket, right? That's on the floor.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I didn't think that I can go, when I went down to go pick it up, it didn't hurt because I'm just bending over.
Yeah.
Right? And then I realized instead of using my mirror, I could have just bent down
to
my hands, which I didn't do, right? And I felt like a fucking in the middle of me, like, like standing underneath the water and like trying to rinse out the shampoo.
Yeah.
I was like, I was kind of crying. I was kind of crying at how dumb my situation was, but my upper body's recovery has been better, faster.
Yeah.
And my lower body is still painful, but
it's still no cardio, right?
No cardio.
Okay.
What he tells, what my trainer tells me, and did I ever tell you this? There was a college course that I took at UCLA. It was basically an easy A course, right? It was called, I think it was called Phi Sci 10, right? Physiological Science 10 or something like that.
Okay.
but the class was called Diet and Exercise.
Okay.
Right? So it talks about, I mean, obviously it's almost 20 years ago. So like maybe, you know, like information has changed, but it talks about like basically effective food and exercise that will help your body do X, Y, and Z. And what I remember was that, for example, you can actually strictly lose weight by just lifting weights, right? Because when you build muscle mass, right? And then when you're burning calories, your calories will burn even after you work out, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Afterburn.
Okay.
And usually fat goes first. You know what I mean? When you do cardio, you burn both. Lean.
I didn't know that actually.
Right.
I just thought, yeah.
So that's why you can technically lose weight. And on top of that, you know, it's what you put into your body. So if you have a deficit of calories, then you're going to lose weight, right? If that's the case, right? So that
I don't have enough muscle. Like I need to hold on to the muscle I have.
Right. Yeah.
I've been having these spasms, or what do you call it? Like when I hold Benji for too long, my hands
cramp
contort.
Up. Yeah.
They cramp up. Right?
Yeah.
I really need to work on that. So I've been doing push-ups daily.
Yeah.
Hoping that's enough, but we'll see.
No, but you know, the funny thing about this diet and exercise, they call it an athlete's class, right?
Did you pass?
Oh, fucking A.
But, you're a smart guy. Though.
No, but here's the thing. The guy teaching the diet and the professor of the diet and exercise class was built like me.
Okay.
And I wanted to be like, the correct answer is do the exact opposite as you. A+, right? Like, well, you know, it's like a fat guy teaching. It's like if my personal trainer was like built like me, I'd be like, nah, man, I'm not. Why would I?
Well,
why would
I mean, everyone's body type is different. Also, it's everyone has different kinds of strength. You know, like.
Again,
trying to be like,
if that fucker was built like me,
okay,
I'd be like, you better pay me to work out with you, fool, right? So the diet and exercise class, I don't know. I mean, currently I'm still not having a great time doing it. To me, I'm treating this like hanyak. You know, hanyak never tastes good. You know,
I like it now. Well, I used to hate it. Yeah,
to me, it's still like the part where like, is there a satang after this shit? You know, like that's how I'm treating my workout session.
Okay,
right. But
I'm happy for you though.
I'm still gonna do it.
I'm happy for you because I mean, like for one thing, you're getting old, so I just know that if this becomes habitual, like Tae-san said in the comments, you know, it's more about, you know. Habit, making things a habit. And so I would love to see that happen for you so you can live a little bit longer, you know?
And
I'd like to live longer too.
And another move that I this weekend that happened to me that was kind of interesting was I was a part of a free dinner.
Okay.
Now, this is always interesting when you get free dinner, right?
You were part of a free dinner. It sounds like you signed up for this. Like,
kinda.
Like central casting for extras, like...
Kinda, right? So
focus group.
So
a free dinner if you answer these questions.
I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but so there is a creator that we have in our podcast network. She's famous, right? Somewhat famous, and months ago in her podcast, she said that a certain restaurant 망했어. Right?
Oh, yeah, I know.
Right?
That's,
Right? And then the CEO of that company goes, we didn't 망했어. We're going to sue you for defamation. Right?
Yeah.
To which she goes, oh, I didn't know. So she made an apology, blah, 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 blah.
A public apology?
A public apology. And she also gave them like free ads on her own podcast.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
To which the company who has a few locations, the restaurant, goes, hey, we would like to offer you a meal up to 4 people on the house, right? In their new Hongdae location. So it was her co-host.
Oh, and you guys said yes to this.
Yeah.
You're not afraid they're trying to poison?
No.
Okay.
So
all right, I'm sorry.
So we're
gonna get in trouble. Yeah. Don't mention the name.
No, don't worry. It's cool. Then we get a free meal too because we're sorry, right?
All right.
So dude, it was like, pork chop, like it was just a big meal, heavy meals, right? Like pasta, like all this shit.
Yeah.
Tastes good. About $100. But then the funny thing was, you know how some restaurants, like, they'll give you your kind of not your bill, but what you've ordered.
Yeah.
And then leave it on your...
They put it on the table.
Yeah. So we were like, but why are they putting it on the table if it's on the house? Like, how much are we supposed to eat? Like, we didn't know, right?
Yeah. And, they have to do that, right. I suppose, because of level of... I don't know. I mean, they have to know what they have to order.
Accounting accuracy, is that possibly?
No, it's just so they know what they need to stock up on the next delivery. I don't know.
Anyway,
go. Finish your story.
Anyway, so we kind of suspiciously after the meal, take it to the counter, and then they go, "Oh yeah, we got it." Like, woo, right? Because it was about. It's not a lot, but for 4 of us, it was like $100. There was no booze.
Do you think that was kind of a trick on their part to be like, hey, let's make sure they just kind of like don't start ordering up a storm?
I mean, we still kind of did though.
Oh, you did?
We kind of did though. Like, so we took like most of the like the steak port, like a few steak orders.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we went in.
Okay.
Right. Now.
Looks like a lot of steak and no rice or potatoes.
0. Okay. Actually, we order fries on the side, just to whatever. We get another email from them going, "Hey, thank you for checking us out. The head guy wasn't there, but we would like to also send you gift certificates that you can give out to your friends if you like as well."
Oh, nice. Okay.
So my point is. We should kind of shit on restaurants, right?
Okay.
And then be like, "Oh, I'm sorry."
Yeah.
And then we give them free advertising, and then we get free meals. I think that's the play. All
right. So it can't be like a huge like business like
it can't be McDonald's.
Yeah, I mean they don't care about us, right? Yeah. So it's got to be like up and coming.
Like CPK?
3 or 4 locations.
Yes.
No more.
All
Okay.
right.
So, all right.
So let's, people in Korea, let us know what restaurant we can shit on next.
Also, man, I wanted to talk about this too at some point. We have the podcast network running, right? And we're actually hitting some milestones, pretty big milestones now. Right. We have 50 plus podcasts now officially,
right.
Which is pretty great. We're hitting good numbers on downloads and such, but we want to reach out to people out there that actually have businesses, not the big businesses, right? Yeah. Like we've seen this with Rogan and like, it's like the vitamin companies, the startups, people with like companies with ad budgets for like experimental media, which podcasting would be, right? Like throw some money our way and we'll do some ads for you. We'll do some.
Oh, this is a begging segment?
No, it's not a begging. It's not just for our podcast. It's for the 50 plus podcasts that we have. If you're trying to reach, especially if you're Korea and some Korean companies this is my little pitch, because we need to start talking about it and be more confident about what we do, right? And so we might as well start it here because we've never pitched that kind of thing. We're not salesmen, right? So
to me, this pitch doesn't need to be on this episode.
You're right. We'll cut it out then.
Yeah. What are we doing here?
A little shame there, but
Yeah.
Shameless plug.
By the way, I don't know if it's legal or not, but somebody said that it is you can't eat and drink in public anymore. I read an article somewhere, right? That you can't do that, like because of COVID.
At the that's for you can't. Yeah,
like public dining, like on the street.
Yeah, like you can't do pyeonmak at a 편의점.
Right.
You can't bring your food, and there's no like out. Yeah, that's why they blocked off all of the
한강.
Yeah, all the benches.
Yes. But I was in Yeonnam-dong this past Saturday, for the hopes of some romance in my life, and we got a bottle of wine, and we parked outside and drank. And we weren't the only ones there. There was a lot of us there. But like, obviously, we're all distanced from each other. But yeah, so I was like, what the hell is going on? And nobody regulated it. It was my first time drinking wine out of a 편의점 cup.
Oh, okay.
You know, some Chardonnay.
There's always a time for that.
And
that reminds me of the Sideways, when Paul Giamatti, at the very end, he pops open his most prized bottle of wine and drinks it out of a styrofoam cup at a fast food restaurant because he's sad and depressed,
right?
But it makes you want to drink good wine.
Yeah, I mean,
at a fast food restaurant,
because I'm not. I mean, okay, so on Saturday, I met this girl, and basically we had 통닭. 누룽지 통닭.
Oh, I love that.
So the bottom is 누룽지, burnt rice, and then it's 통닭, so it's like rotisserie chicken. Yeah. Right? And then...
Did you get the cheese and all that on it?
Zero.
Just the regular?
Just that.
Okay.
But then what they have is they have some 비빔국수, right? And then their specialty is they suggest that you eat it together. So the chicken, a piece of the chicken.
I've never heard of this.
Right, and the 비빔국수, and I ate it. I was like, "Oh, it's good."
It's good.
Yeah, it's real good. And then
did it make the nuringji like soggy though?
No, I mean you're not gonna like put everything together. You have
just eat it like
비빔국수 on the side.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then you put it on your own small plate. Okay. And then you put it together, right?
Yeah,
it's great. And then since the girl, she's like a regular, she brought her own wine and they were cool with it. So we're drinking wine out of like the Korean beer cups.
Yeah.
So I was like, whoa, okay. So we're
drinking beer cups, those little paper cups.
No, the glass cups that you.
Oh yeah.
Not the pint mugs, but like the small Korean
the ones
style.
You do the 폭탄주.
Yeah. So we put
soju bombs.
So we were Chardonnay and 누룽지 통닭, right? And I was like, this is it doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
Because when I think about wine, I think about like Western food. I think about fork and knife, right? But it broke all of that.
Yeah.
Right?
It's supposed to.
Right.
You know, there's a lot of things that have never been, combined before.
Right.
And why not,
And it was fantastic. And then we left we got out of the restaurant around 9:45. And then she goes, what do you want to do? And I was like, we can drink some more, but where should we go? And then she goes, let's go drink at Central Park. Right? So we got some more wine.
Yeah.
And then we went to the 편의점 and got them Ace crackers.
Ace crackers?
They're like the saltine.
Oh, saltines,
whatever.
Yeah.
And then... Philly cheese, Philadelphia cream cheese.
Okay.
And some salami.
Oh, nice.
Right?
Nice,
but like 편의점 salami.
Yeah.
And so we're just like making adult Lunchables while drinking. You know what I mean? While we were drinking fucking Chardonnay. It was a good time.
Plus, wine makes you horny, right?
Red wine gets me horny.
That's so specific.
Yeah.
Okay.
White wine.
Is it mental, or you think it's actually kind of like a chemical thing?
I don't know, because I wasn't like
All right, I'm not gonna Google it, but can somebody Google it?
I wasn't like, and the girl that I was, was with was great. She was fun, chill.
Yeah, it sounds cool. Like you guys only have 45 minutes left, and she wanted to. Yeah.
So we drank until it got too cold to be outside, and
because technically at 10 o'clock that's curfew, right?
Right.
You can't even
be inside.
Right. Or outside.
No, you can be outside. You can't just drink outside. You can walk around. After
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, I didn't know because there were so many people at Yeoncho Park, like just using like they were socially distanced, but they were all drinking beer or soju or whatever, and we're the only knuckleheads with a bottle of wine and drinking, right? So we did that, and so I had a good time, but I realized something.
What
is that? I think I've said this before. She's depressed, right? Because kind of she wasn't like legally clinically depressed,
you mentioned something about it.
But I could feel that she was depressed, right, or not happy, and I realized that I only got room for one depressed person in my life at a time. So that's why.
So you chose me over her?
Yes.
Thank you, Danny. I love you too. Is that for real, or is that just a bit you're doing?
No, it's
really.
It's real.
You don't have enough in your heart for two depressed people.
I don't have enough energy.
I get it. Though.
You want to know why? It's because I'm depressed. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
So I don't need more bummers around me. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
my bad. I'll work on it. So
No. I need
balance. I'll open up the balance so you can bring more of that into your life.
No, comparatively, I'm less of a bummer than you are, right? So that's a good thing, right?
Yeah.
So but imagine if I was equally as, if not worse, in terms of my depression.
Yeah.
If I was more depressed than you were, I don't know if that's like, there's no such thing as more depressed or less depressed. But imagine if I was as dark and end of the world sad.
No, yeah, it's like oil and water,
dude. If it's both of us we're gonna be like, we're just gonna be bumming each other out, just drinking, staring at each other's faces, just like sighing. We're just gonna be sighing. We're just be like, I'm just rubbing our faces every time. We're just, we don't want that, right?
Yeah.
So I need in my life
someone. You need a Danny in your life.
Yes, I need a light. I need some more light.
All right.
Not just like, but I feel like, not just in Korea, but particularly I felt this in Korea, where just people are like everything sucks. Like that's what they are. And I go, I can't talk to you no more. So
I feel you.
Thanks for the Chardonnay. Thanks for the matchip.
You think she'll listen to this podcast?
Matchip request. I don't know. She speaks English.
Yeah.
Thanks for the matchip thing. And you're wonderful. But I need some more bright people in my life. And also a big shout outs to Pishik Dayak. They just hit 1 million subscribers.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
You better not fucking quit stand-up comedy, you assholes.
Yeah. And come on our podcast again. Jeez.
Well, I can call them, but then it'll be very, how do you say, a difficult podcast for you.
We have to wrap up for today. But next time, if we don't have much to talk about, I want to talk about how I spent $1,000 at the Hyundai Baekgyeom this weekend.
Well, we have time.
Do we have?
Yeah.
I'll quickly say.
Yeah.
Right. So my brother-in-law got married a couple of weeks ago.
Right.
Everyone knows that.
Yeah.
And so I did not know that this existed. Right. So his new in-laws gifted my in-laws, or so my brother-in-law's parents, like a bunch of, like a lot of kogi, like a case of wine, really fancy fruit, and and some gifts. I don't even know what it was, but
is it like new age dowry?
I guess I don't know, but it happens after they come back from the honeymoon, right? And so that came so they sent a certain amount of stuff to my in-laws, and in turn, my in-laws had to do the same for his new in-laws, right? So they basically did some math on how much they received and had to give that much back. But I think it's a fixed price.
Right.
It's around $1,000, I think. I don't know. That's just seems to be the case for us. But so we had to go to the fancy 백화점, right? So mall. And I had to just sit there and watch them order $600 in prime beef.
Wow.
And they wrap it up.
Right.
They put it in a box. It's very presentable. It really looks amazing. It's like really good quality meat. And then we had to go from there to the fruit station where they have, those melons that are like $80 and like the kiwis that are special kiwis, I guess, that cost $5 a kiwi. But it's like a whole another fruit basket you're making. That's another like $300. And then we ended up from there going to pick out wines. They had me pick out the wines. So I went for some Napa Valley wines. That way they can say, oh, these are chosen by an American wines, whatever.
Remember the guy with the jeans? Yeah, he picked.
They wrapped the wine bottles in boxes and stuff. And my mother-in-law made them rewrap it. This is how serious it is.
Wow.
Like she was like, they wrapped them in separate boxes. She's like, I want them in all one box.
Wow.
So we had to go back and watch them. And they charged us for redoing that too. It was a big deal. And the final thing is we went to the Hyundai 백화점. We did this at this, do you know it's called the Hyundai.
Yes. They just opened up. Yoido, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
We went there and we had to buy couple's outfit.
For
her, the in-laws. So matching clothes for the father-in-law and the mother-in-law.
Right.
So, and my mother-in-law, I mean, they picked the clothes because they're all similar age, and they basically are like, I would wear this kind of like, or this is nice enough, or this is like, and it's not cheap. Like everything, I think might have came out to more than $1,000.
Yeah.
There is one thing that I'll share though. I know that we spent more than $1,000 because, all right, I did not know this. You know those coupons you get from like the 백화점,
the
like
gift certificates.
Gift certificate, like $50 or $100.
Yeah.
So you can buy those at a discount. So what we basically did was, I don't know if I should be saying this. Like, anyway, they don't listen to our podcast. Oh, maybe they do. They have like their son-in-law actually listens to English. But maybe they did this. This is where just says we're smart about money, right? So I don't know what the discount is, but you can actually say if you want to spend $1,000 at Hyundai 백화점, you can go somewhere to buy those.
All right.
At a discount.
All right.
Like, I don't know, maybe 15% off, 30% off, whatever it is.
Right.
You can spend, let's say it's 20% off or something, right? So you spend $800 and you get $1,000 in a gift certificate.
That's cool.
I guess guess that's because a lot of people don't end up using them, right? So I still don't know what the logic is, why you can get it for that. And then, so there's got to be a deal amongst the 백화점 with the suppliers, and it probably goes into all that. So it also makes sense why companies give that out, like for bonuses. Yeah.
Okay. Which is, I think it's dumb, but I use mine to do like a month of grocery shopping, but thank you. So
that was a long story.
No, it's all right. So Bobby's in-laws.
Yeah.
You know what? By the way, this is what I was thinking. You know how you have to get matching, their in-laws matching whatever?
Yeah.
Or your in-laws, or what do they call them? Not your in-laws.
My brother-in-law's
your brother,
in-laws.
Yeah, your brother-in-law's in-laws.
Mm.
Big phony merch.
Go get some merch.
It's a big phony merch.
Shout out to Chris from, I don't want to say, we're not supposed to say full names and stuff.
Right.
Shout out to Chris for ordering some stuff.
Nice.
In the States. But he had a great idea.
Yeah.
There's similar services that do, I try to find a place in the States that does that too. So anyway,
all right, guys.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Bye.
Later.